Welcome back everyone to my bourbon lovers out there. Today we are going to review another whiskey. Now today it's not going to be a bourbon, but this was highly suggested by a coworker, so I decided I couldn't pass it up. We're going to make the exception, so if you guys do have anything you ever want to see me review, and it's not necessarily a bourbon, don't be afraid to throw it in the comments. I'll take a look at it as well. There's nothing wrong with just a good whiskey out there. So today, with that being said, we are going to take a look at something pretty interesting. This is Bain'S Cape Mountain Whiskey. And a couple of things that make this interesting. For one, it is from South Africa. Never have I imagined that I would be drinking a whiskey from South Africa. Honestly, I think of them for wine. Not really whiskey. I don't really know much about them as a whiskey producer. The other thing that's very interesting is this is a single grain whiskey. It is 100% corn. So from that, I'm going to assume it's going to be A, extremely sweet, B, extremely smooth. So this could be a really, really good daily sipper, or it could also be extremely good in cocktails. So we'll see kind of how the flavor profile goes. But it's going to be kind of interesting overall to see what kind of comes from this one. Bain'S is not new to the market. The name change is, however, this actually dates back the whole way to 1866, I believe. Let me take a look here. Yep, 1886. It used to be at the James Sedgwick Distillery. They decided to change it to Bain'S because of where the original distillery was. It was near, it says here, the Bain'S Clough Pass on the Burge River in Wellington, South Africa. So that is how they got their name and changed it overall. We can tell just from the bottle here, very nice yellow color here. I'm going to attribute that to the fact that it is 100% corn. It wasn't aged super long here either, but it was interesting. They have a double barrel system going on here. The first 3 years, this is put into a bourbon barrel, and then it's taken out of that barrel and then thrown into another bourbon barrel for 2 more years. So very close to what a bourbon would be in theory, but there's just some things missing overall. What's really important is how does it taste and how does it smell. So let's go ahead and start off with the nosing and see what we get from that. Okay guys, so we are going to go ahead and start our nosing. So we're going to go ahead and open up the bottle here. I have not had any of this. To any of you purists out there, unfortunately this is not a normal cap with a cork in it. This is going to be a twist off, but it does have a very cool top here. I like the logo of the 2 cats on there. I'm not really sure which cat they're supposed to be. They kind of remind me of cheetahs, but maybe they're an ocelot or something. I'm not sure if maybe it says on their website what they're supposed to be, but very cool twist off. And let's go ahead and pour some in our glass here. So right off the bat, very, very clear. I did say I think it's going to be the corn that's going to have the attributing factor to that. Very see-through, but a very nice yellow whiskey look. It kind of looks like a Canadian whiskey almost to me. Very yellow, very see-through. It's not very thick overall. It's very translucent. You can see through it pretty well. Almost kind of like a Pilsner beer, how you can see right through it. So overall, the looks of it, very, very thin and mellow looking. But let's go ahead and see how it smells. You can tell this is 100% corn. It is very, very, very sweet here. I'm getting the lightest smell of the oak in there. It is not very overpowerful. It's a very mellow smell. There is some a light caramel kind of smell, but not really much. It's more of a vanilla, like a vanilla buttercream, like a buttercream frosting. Light hints of banana, almost like a banana sundae. It's very sweet smelling, but not overpowering, and very, very mellow. So I have a feeling that this is going to be a very thin whiskey, very sweet, but overall, I think it could be pretty good. It smells like it's going to have a very good dessert-like quality to it. So overall, the nosing wasn't very complex. It was very simple in nature. But let's go ahead and see how it tastes. Okay guys, so now to the most important part. That is going to be the taste. The nosing was kind of uneventful. Smelled very good, very mellow, very 100% corn type smelling of what you would expect there. Very sweet in nature. So we are going to go ahead and see how the actual flavor of this is. Okay. There is some warmth on my cheeks. It did kind of coat back a little bit here, and the warmth feeling is actually sitting right here in the bottom of my throat, and it moved down. It's currently sitting in my sternum. Very odd. So not a burn. Not a spicy burn at all, but a very mellow heat to it. Not uncomfortable at all. Overall, mostly sweet flavors of what I was tasting. My mouth is not dried out at all. So it's not drying like some of those past ones that we were reviewing there. Still left it very open. Let's see what sip 2. You know, after tasting it and going back here and smelling it again, it's kind of weird. I'm picking up a little bit different notes. I don't know if all of a sudden I get something different from the taste, but I'm getting a very light maple smell, like a maple brown sugar. But let's see what sip 2 tastes like. The second sip, the burn was completely gone. Not the burn, the warmth was fully gone. It's not there at all the initial way that it was the first time, but oddly it is still sitting right here and like right around my esophagus like before. Very, very sweet. I would imagine that might be a turnoff to some people if they don't like an overly sweet product. This might be one that you want to skip. The 100% corn is going to be what's attributed to that. There's no malted barley or rye or anything like that. It's all corn, so you're going to get a lot of sweetness to this. So the flavor profile came out a lot more in the second sip. Very banana custard, vanilla, maple kind of. It felt like a dessert in my mouth, like a very, very good dessert. This would be an awesome drink to have just sitting out on the deck and kind of having a good time, just not thinking about anything overly complex. Does not linger. It is not harsh at all. Like it. Let's try our third and final sip. As anything proved last time, sips can change our opinions on things. So let's see what our final sip feels like. Overall, the third sip was very, very nice. I liked it a lot. It mellowed out a lot more than the first two. Not overly complex at all. very simple in flavor, but a very rich dessert feel. I love the taste of this. It was makes me want to go back for more, honestly. I'm probably just gonna drink more right off after this. Smooth, very well balanced. The sweetness ratio is very nice in there. Nothing feels out of place. It feels like a very nice product. So I don't know much about this company, but I am definitely going to try to find out if they have anything else. It'd be very interesting to see what else they have offering up to America. I don't know if they have anything else that's maybe not in the States here. But overall, very good taste. I liked the dessert feel of it overall. Great flavor in my mouth, and each sip got better, so I can only imagine if I poured a full glass here that it would be even better. So let's go ahead and see our final thoughts overall. So overall, I must say that I am highly impressed with Bain'S. For $30 for a large bottle here, the 750 milliliters, I feel like you honestly can't go wrong. If you go in knowing what you're buying a 100% corn whiskey that is very sweet. It's not rough and gruff. It's a mellow dessert type drinker. So this is very, very good if you go in knowing that. Don't expect anything overly complex or harsh. You are going to get a great drink if you do. Another cool thing I would say, maybe bring this out at a party, because you're going to have something to talk about. If you have a lot of whiskey friends out there or bourbon friends, and all of a sudden you pull this out, Bain'S, I don't think it's very widely known. You start pouring this out, people are going to go, wow, it's kind of cool, let's talk about this. You've got a built-in talking piece right here just with this interesting looking bottle and cool company that has a history of Africa where most people don't think about whiskeys. So overall, I highly recommend this. This is one of my favorite whiskeys I've had. I haven't had too many of them, so overall I don't have a large presence in just the whiskey category. I'm more of the bourbon whiskey portion, but I can say that I'm highly pleased with this, and I think the 100% corn was an interesting direction that they went, and it paid off. The dividends are amazing here. The dessert flavor is incredible. I would highly recommend this as a starting whiskey for someone. I would say though, don't put any ice in this. I drink everything neat, honestly, to begin with, but with as mellow and uncomplex as it is, it's very light in flavor. I feel like if you put any ice in it, you're probably going to water it down a little bit too much. I'm not sure that that's going to be a good thing. You might water down all the flavor that is present, and I don't want that to happen for you. So highly recommend you just drink this neat or chilled. Maybe if you have some like whiskey stones that you can get things cold without diluting them. That would be my big suggestion on this, because you don't want to lose that limited flavor that is there. Don't water down the dessert flavor. But overall, great product. I would like to see it be a little bit cheaper. I don't feel bad spending around $30. However, maybe this would be better around like the $25 price point, which, I mean, that's not a huge jump in price, but I feel maybe that $25 is a better price. The only reason I'm thinking it's a little bit higher might be because of the import coming from Africa. That might equate to why it's a little bit higher. But overall, great whiskey. Great suggestion from my coworker. This is going to be a love it in the whiskey category. Hopefully you guys liked the review. If you did, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you would like to see reviewed next. And happy drinking, guys. I'm going to have some more. Cheers, my friends.